After all these years. Finally, we have them all.
Well, until Gordon and Emily and Toad and whoever else they announce in August. Yeah. So, welcome back to DCC Sodor, everyone. And last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at N-scale Percy the Small Engine. Of course, this is probably the second to last N-scale video for a while. Next one will be on some rolling stock. That one might be a few weeks away. It depends on budget, as I do. It may not seem like it sometimes, but I do actually have a limited budget for how much I can spend on these guys. So anyways, here is Percy the Small Engine. So typical blister case. Oh man, now it's stuck. What is going on with... There we go. Don't mind me just fighting with a plastic box. So as typical, I like to take a look at the exploded parts diagram. The other one's just like, hey, we have a warranty, but very limited warranty, which I always find odd. But anyways, I'm not going to get into the logistics of model train warranties. So anyways, here is Percy. He's got a nice weight inside the boiler, it looks like, and pretty good mechanism, as typical with these nice N-scale items. They've all been really good. Fantastic runners, so I have high expectations for Percy. As I don't know where I was going with that. Alright, I'm going to be concentrating on getting this piece of paper folded up and back in the box. So anyways, I have high expectations for Percy. But considering this was $70, I mean, I still think that $70 for an N-scale locomotive is pretty good considering all of the die cast that is used on these, the highly detailed body shells, the turned metal bearings that are in the wheels. Sam's trains would like that. A brass flywheel and worm gear combination, which is, I think, a really good idea. Nice space saver. And then just the quality of all the printing on the side and the quality of the molding here. It's just incredible for N-scale. Other than these little bit of scratches on Percy. Interesting. Well, I'll say that Bachmann's quality control isn't always the best, but I have to say, even with this little bit of scratching that I just noticed, which also could have been from when he took a little bit of a tumble on my layout. Yeah, that short that I posted the other day where he derailed and shorted out, well, there was more than just that. But in any case, let's get back to Percy. Let's take a look. He's got some great detail. I mean, I love that they've got, my fingernails are really long. I love that they've got lamp irons and the vacuum pipe and the nice little lamp there. I mean, imagine trying to light that thing. He's also got the nice separately fitted coupling hook. And one detail that I really like is that he's got the latch, not only latches on the toolboxes, but whatever these things are on the side. This side it's shorter and this side it's taller, just like the model. And in CGI and in the model series, that was the case. It is pretty obvious that he's got a seam around his cab, which is unfortunate. But that face just screams CGI Percy. I really like the CGI Percy face. I know that, like, Gordon's face, I feel like, didn't translate very well to CGI. But Percy's face looks great in CGI. And I think that Bachmann really captured it really well. The whistle being a separately molded piece just looks, actually, I think it is part of the molding, not separately fitted. Man, it's not going to focus on that. But the detail, I mean, that's incredibly small, and I think that looks really good. The lamp, which I believe is also part of the molding, they got the paint job really, really crisp. Buffers, hooks, again, all really incredibly done. And the valve gear on Percy, although not super complex, does look really good and much, much better than the HO version. Actually, everything about this Percy, like James and Thomas, is much, much better than the HO versions of them. So that's a quick overview on Percy, and like all the other ones, his front wheel is driven, and his back wheel is not. So you can see there's a little bit of slop there, but that's okay. Based on this looks very chunky like the CGI series rods, and as you'll see, he runs very well. So I have taken this guy down onto the layout already to run him in, but I just didn't get to filming the video in time. So I'm going to show him pulling some nice rolling stock, just, the typical troublesome trucks. And my oil tanker, because I thought I had more rolling stock than that, but I guess I only bought the oil tanker. So I'm looking at getting the water tanker, the fuel tanker, and then the new box fans that I just released. And don't worry, there'll be a video on that one too. So without further ado, let's get Percy down to the layout and see how he runs. All right. So that's Percy. I mean, there were some points of dirty track, but I went around and cleaned those. So we'll see Percy kind of cruise his way back up the mountain. I'm actually pretty impressed. He moves for a little engine. But yeah, it's like all the other Bachmann, Thomas, and Friends and Scale products. Incredibly smooth. And so, yeah, well, we're going to jump back up to the review desk and we'll finish taking a look at Percy. So that's Percy's running finished. As you can see, he runs great. I mean, I have no problems with no qualms with this model except for these little scratches. But I would say that 99% of the Percy models aren't going to have those scratches. So that's Percy. Again, if you're going to get any of the N scale line, maybe you're not an N scale collector. I mean, I'm just crazy, so that's why I ended up buying everything. But I would get Thomas and Percy if I was just going to get a couple of them. But so Percy, I think, is a must-have because everyone knows Percy. Everyone knows Thomas, and everyone knows Percy. They're like the two most popular characters, so they're definitely worth picking up. And I think that this version of Percy is just incredible. And it's a really great representation of Percy. And if you can find them for a decent deal, I know that I got this one on Amazon for $70, which is like $10 less than a lot of the like Train World and other places like that. I don't know. I didn't cross-check that, so don't quote me on that, but I know that there are some places that charge $80 for Percy. As you can see, I paid $75 for Toby, $90 for James, and I believe $60 for Thomas, which was actually an incredible deal. And I'm really glad I picked him up when I did. So my advice to you, I know I posted a picture a while ago, and this is going to be a bit of a rant. So if you're not interested in this, then you can click off the video right now. But otherwise, I'm going to rant about this for a minute because it does bother me that everyone complains about how expensive these are. I think you have to remember, and maybe these people that complain aren't actually into model trains, I'm not really sure, but you have to remember that these are not cheap to make. Like, to cut all the steel tooling, even though these are smaller, it still costs very similar price to an HO tooling. They have to be able to make the die cast chassis and weights. The motors cost money, so it's not cheap to make these. So to make a profit, Bachmann's not going to sell these for nothing. They're going to make a profit. They have to pay licensing fees to Mattel, I'm sure. So in all honesty, I really think $70 for Thomas, even $75 for Thomas, Percy, and Toby is reasonable. And even $100, which is about the going price for James, is reasonable. And Gordon, I think, is planned to be about 125. I feel like that's pretty reasonable as well. I mean, especially with the complex valve gear on Gordon, they've done an amazing job on that. And I am shocked that it only costs $125, to be honest, considering a big boy, which is, just two of the same engines cost $300. I paid $300 for my Kato big boy, which is more than I've ever paid for any N-scale locomotive. So I really think that these Bachmann engines are reasonably priced. So anyways, that's my rant. And if you have any thoughts in the comments below on Percy or what I just talked about, leave them down below, and I'll probably respond to you with my thoughts. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.